Go live.
Jeremy has hair from Career Opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Got Jim Dodge hair.
From Cropper. What did you get?
Remember,
Career
Career
opportunities.
Oh.
All right, we are
Jim
live.
Dodge.
All right, we're live.
All right. We are going at the end of July, so at the end of next month, and we'll be there for 7 days from Saturday to Saturday. It's gonna be great.
Is this like a hike that you're doing, or the trip that you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hike trip.
So
Nice.
I think there's a total of maybe 12 to 14 of us going. It's a lot of people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
When the bear attacks, just got to be faster than the slowest person.
Well,
11 people.
I'm pucked. Yeah. It's definitely not
you
gonna
go.
be me. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we are Benless today because he is in Hawaii for work, he says. But the only work that he's been showing on social media is sitting back and playing Super Smash Bros. With his boss.
Yeah.
So
cool.
that's fine.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Exactly. All right, let me do my social media shit because I always forget. You guys want to waggle around or something? There we go. Jeremy, you're just posing for pictures. Yeah, just
Is it a picture?
No, it's a video.
Oh, you're doing a video. Oh, well.
No, I just have you giving very weird looks into the camera. So perfect.
I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I thought it was.
All right.
Thought it was a picture.
Did you ever see that video of some girl doing self, and it's that whole trick where you have a video going instead of a picture?
Yeah.
Little girl, she's probably like 8 years old.
Yeah.
She's like, take the fucking picture.
Little girl said that.
That's great.
I used to do that shit all the time. That was actually a lot of fun. People just.
Yeah.
And so I have videos of me with other people just frozen. It's great.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
Funny.
Okay, let me make sure the audio is good. Let me make sure I'm capturing you guys. Oh man, I'm bringing back the test because I think. Oh, see, I've even missed a part because we're still on the other episode name. All right, so speaking of episode names, we did Twilight this week.
Good.
So. And it was as bad as we thought it was going to be 2 weeks ago. Did you guys do your thing where you got together and watched it?
I did.
Daryl and I did.
Okay.
Oh, you guys did? Nice.
Okay.
Weird schedule. So.
Yeah, because...
Wild Pig? Or was that a different night?
What's that?
No, we had Wild Pig and we
Did a Wild Pig, yeah. And watched
Oof.
and we watched Twilight.
Yeah.
And,
Is it Wild Pig?
Yeah, Wild Boar.
Uncle Dave
your
shot
Uncle
it.
Dave shot one.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was
slaughtered.
good.
It's-
It's really good.
Really good. It's actually very lean.
Hmm.
So, in the way the bison's lean, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But it's really good. So we had maple sausage, and I ate all the Italian sausage. It's so goddamn good. So Doug hasn't eaten the Italian sausage yet, but
Damn. Brutal.
they're great.
Fortunately, we're getting some more, so
It's surprising you think it'd be gamey or something because it's a wild boar, but
it's not. It's not at all.
Hmm.
It's really
Oh
good.
man, no, that sounds amazing.
I want
Definitely.
Wild Boar now. We need to get Wild Boar when you're out here. Oh, because Jeremy's
well-
coming into town, right?
Yeah,
It's still happening.
on the this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
On
it's this
Friday.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you flying
going Friday night.
in?
What
Oh, yeah.
What time are you guys coming in?
I don't know actually. Off the top of my head,
You're
I
gonna
could look
be
it
here
up.
in 3
I know
days. How do you
I know
not
we're
know?
leaving. All I know is we leave Friday night,
Okay.
and then we leave from Texas Monday.
Oh, you
Oh,
leave
yeah.
on Monday.
Time.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I think so. Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
so-
pretty sure.
All right, so we'll have all day Sunday then too. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to get fireworks for sure. For sure.
you get fireworks, and I need a barbecue fix. That wild boar sounds amazing, but
Yeah, we're getting more. So next time Doug's getting more this weekend, I think, right?
okay, yeah.
My brother,
Because Dave's got like 140 pounds of it in his in a freezer in his basement.
Yeah.
Because it was
Oh,
a
dang.
400-pound hog that he shot.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's
a lot
wild.
of meat.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I just cook it on the George Foreman, and it's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
George Foreman, you're cooking Wild boar and a
Dude,
George Foreman grill.
We threw cheese on it and buns and
Well, last
Yeah,
night,
you can make like little pulled pork sandwiches and all that shit.
well, it's ground. It's like the one we have is it's a ground up like ground, ground
Oh,
beef.
okay.
But it's
yeah, Dave had Italian sausage links and ground maple sausage made out of it. I think there were a couple of pork chops, but unfortunately in wild boar you don't get many pork chops and you don't get many ribs, so which is kind of unfortunate. And bacon is another thing.
No bacon.
So,
So you
Still
need-
sounds good.
what we got was good.
Sounds good. So speaking of wild
we
boars,
had
go ahead, Dad. Go ahead. Just trying to start this podcast.
Oh yeah, but we had maple sausage ham cheeseburger last night for the wild boar, and it was actually pretty good.
Oh,
Different.
Yeah.
But it was good.
sounds great. Yeah,
So sorry, yeah, we watched Twilight.
Yeah,
I'm getting hungry now.
I know. I actually didn't. I got off of work late, and so I haven't eaten. So I'm
Oh,
yeah, it's great. I had the butt end of the this bread that I just got, so I'm doing great. I'm,
Just the butt end of some bread.
Old bread,
the butt end of bread. dude.
Old bread butt.
Bread Butt is playing this weekend, Jeremy. If you want to go watch him.
Okay.
While you're out here.
All right. I'll
Yeah, from
consider.
Mohawk.
Yeah.
All right,
Mohawk.
so this is the We Like This podcast. We did Twilight this week. I am joined by myself, Dana Waters, Jeremy Dallas, Daryl Waters, and Doug Waters. We got
Yes.
the Waters fam plus Jer. And like I said, Ben is out this week, so fuck him. So
Take that.
we watched Twilight originally, Dad, because we had to watch it for my sister to make sure it was like okay and appropriate for her, and didn't know what we were getting into, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Is this when it first came out
Mhm.
that you did that?
yeah, when it was first out on,
Gotcha, okay.
I think we Netflixed it on DVD.
Yeah, they
Right.
have sent to the house.
was it appropriate for Annalise?
I still don't think it's appropriate for him.
Just let her watch
Yeah.
it.
Still unapproved.
Yeah, no, it was extremely safe as far as either violence or sex or whatever goes. So
or actual vampires. So yeah, it was great.
Sure.
So
vampire movie with actual vampires in it. Yeah.
yeah, so I guess we could just get into it, right? So Bella, what is her name? Bella Thorne or something?
Swan.
Bella Swan.
Oh, real name.
Bella Swan.
It's not a real name. So she moves from Phoenix, Arizona to Forks, Washington, to start anew or whatever the fuck with her dad, and goes to high school because, and all these high school kids are in their 30s, but playing high school kids.
Oh my
This
gosh,
movie
they-
had,
They are barely hiding the ball with that one.
yeah, like
they look
everybody's
so
got stubble,
old.
and it's probably one of like the most jarring examples of like older people, like adults playing kids. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, it was really weird at first, and I don't know, it was just weird.
Well, if you really want, I mean, like I remember watching. This is probably the equivalent of me watching Rebel Without a Cause when I was a teenager, and the teenagers in that movie looked like they're in their early 30s because they probably all were.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Grease
these-
is the same, and
I'm like,
there's
is everybody in their 30s and the 50s? Because good
and
God,
most movies, the teenagers. I mean, like Steve McQueen in the Blob is like 40,
I know, right?
and
Mhm.
it was like you're a teenager.
You're,
You're older than the sheriff.
Like,
Yeah,
you
so-
Well, yeah, like in this one, the teachers and the students looked like they were like maybe 5 years apart from each other.
yeah,
Like
well,
they're
that-
basically all the same age,
Yeah, and then you have the Cullen family, and all they do in this movie, I swear to God, is just fucking
be vampires.
older.
yeah, like all the time. Like when you first see Edward Cullen and he's sitting at the lunch table or whatever. Or no, she walks into the classroom, right, and she sees him shitting his pants in the corner because he sees her or something. What the fuck was that? What was going on there?
I don't fucking know. She's
I don't
like,
know.
okay, yeah. This movie's too easy to shit on, honestly. But
It is a
Right.
little bit.
like, the whole,
Low hanging fruit.
we can't be friends. I can't be around you because you're so mad. I can't smell your blood, or I can't smell your blood. Who even know what the fuck is going on
he can't read her mind, which I forgot about. That's actually
Well, I
part
like
of it.
the vampires have different secret powers. Like he could read minds. The other girl she could see the future, but you could change the future. So can you really see the future? The answer is
Right.
And she's always wrong. So
yeah. So,
So it doesn't fucking matter anyway.
Yeah.
and then that the Jasper kid is he doing like? Maybe that was the second film, but he had a power too, and
Yeah.
But,
one of them is like new to the family or whatever, so he can't control his like vegetarianism or whatever they call it.
urges.
Yeah.
And but
the vegetarians, they only eat cows and shit.
Mhm.
Right.
For the humans.
and squirrels.
Yeah. So,
I
anyways,
love how creepy. I love how super creepy fucking Edward Cullen is, man. The thing is, if he wasn't a sexy vampire, if he looked like I don't know, me or Doug,
Right.
we
Yeah.
couldn't have pulled this off, right? Like, he's super fucking creepy the whole goddamn movie.
Yeah.
She just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is normal." Like he
And
watches you sleep. He follows you everywhere. He keeps
Yeah.
creepy shit like it's so. I mean, I guess really quickly. Let's back up a little bit. We're not the target audience, obviously. 13-year-old girls are, and this is actually makes his behavior scarier, right? That this is accepted behavior because he's a hot vampire. It's really fucking weird to me. I don't get it.
especially when you know that
That's
he's
the point.
108 years old. So,
Right.
I mean, that begs the question: is it like that kind of like Tuck Everlasting? You guys know about that? Where they
Yeah, I
drink from
actually
the
like that
water.
movie, yeah.
That's a really good story. But like for them, I think they have the same like brain and all that stuff, right? So they have the same like personality and it stays the same. So but
You
with
drink the water, you
vampires,
see the brain, yeah.
yeah, you got the same brain. So with vampires, I don't think it really works that way. So you have this 108-year-old dude who's flying outside of Bella Swan's window and creeping on her. Like it's
Who
and he like
honestly acts-
willingly like
he
just
still
gives this
acts like a
information out.
jackass. Like,
Yeah.
he has zero wisdom in his 108 years. This dude is immature as fuck.
He's still
Right.
in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where we get into a problem too. Is like, I remember watching this and I was like, "There's a huge glaring thing." I was like, "This vampire has been going to high school and graduating ever since he was of high school age. What? Like what?
Yeah.
Like
Ever
that's
since
what's going
he
on,
got
right?"
out of the fucking the Spanish flu
Shouldn't
hospital.
he have
He's been
figured
going
some of
out.
this stuff out by
Nope.
then?
No,
But apparently not.
Right.
Can you imagine going to high school for 100 years?
that would be the
graduating?
worst.
Fucking time for them,
I
That'd be
couldn't
the
do it for
worst.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Honestly.
No, right? I barely made 4 years. In fact, I
you
did
don't
make 4
even you don't even want to try college. Like,
Yeah, like
I mean,
You
I
could at
guess if you
least
could just fuck
diversify.
around because you don't care if you pass or not after a while, you just all right, whatever.
Yeah, but what are the
it's
teachers
But
gonna
he
be
never
like?
needs
Homework,
it. They
Oh.
have to be able to ditch when the sun comes out. So
Right,
doesn't everybody
right.
see
Oh yeah,
the
so they can
time?
play vampire baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an
Vampire
important
baseball.
scene, okay?
And they
Yeah,
can
tear
only
up
do
every
it. They
time.
can only do it during thunderstorms, so that nobody will know that the cracking is actually them hitting the baseball.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's the
love it.
cover.
I'll give the movie in the original books. It's got to be the same way. They unapologetically do not give a fuck
Mhm.
about all the shit that they do, like that.
Right.
Like, well, we only, we moved up here because there's never a sun. Because if you see us, we're fucking diamond shaped, and you're like,
Glitter.
this is the only hard light that comes is from the sun, and everything makes no sense. But like I said, the movie doesn't give a fuck that it doesn't make sense. It just does its
No.
thing. So I'll give it
No.
credit for that.
I mean, I've seen movies where the movie is supposed to be like, you're on drugs, you're on LSD, you're on pot or whatever. This is the first movie I've ever seen where you're supposed to be on Prozac or something, because everybody's like, oh, what? Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, there's
It
zero.
doesn't-
That's another thing.
Height doesn't go, is only medium and the lows. I mean, it's just like I said, it's like everybody took a Prozac before they started shooting or something, and it just
Well,
Like,
that's the
no
weird
one
thing
has
about.
a sense of humor.
Hmm.
Nothing is funny. Nothing
Yeah.
is that sad.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone
And
just
then-
looks the entire time because
everybody
they
was,
gotta be mysterious.
everybody was talking about Team Edward and Team Jacob. I thought that werewolf kid was gonna like be in this movie. He showed
He's
up with his
barely.
phony
Later
His
is-
wig.
phony wig extensions or whatever they were.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he goes, "Oh no, I go to school on the res," and then leaves. And they go to the beach, and he's there for like 2 minutes talking about the cold ones, you know, Miller, Coors, and Bud. And then he shows up because his uncle gives him $20
yeah.
to crash the prom. It's like, are you sure you're in this movie, bro?
They really just
I
string him
assume
around.
he shows up in the subsequent movies.
Well, you know,
that's-
that's the
Oh,
big
okay.
conflict builds in the second one, right? Where they
Well, we'll have
Jacob and
to watch
Edward.
that. And I know this came out in 2000 something.
2008.
2008.
And I realize it's low budget too, but the special effects are shockingly bad. Like when
Yes.
you're playing Vampire Baseball, that or any of the time the vampires move really, really fast, they got like the shittiest TV 3D RFX artist, you know?
Yeah.
Talked him down, you know what I mean? Made a deal with him and said, okay, that looks great. You're like, this is a fucking theatrically released movie, and these are your special effects. This is the first pass at best. And they just let it go. Like, nah, it looks good. It looks like absolute shit.
Yeah.
I remember
And
thinking,
in 2008, there were some movies that had better CGI
Oh, yeah,
than
yeah.
that in 2008 So
Lord of
that's
the
the
Rings.
point of view.
1994, they had some movies
Yeah.
that came
Lord
out
of the Rings
with better.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
It's not fair, really, but I don't think they
Different
had
budget for sure. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But
Different demographic. I
something.
will tell you that I'm pretty sure none of the teenage girls watching this movie cared at all about the
Well,
special effects.
that's a
right?
great
So
point.
why waste the money on it? Like I think if that's how you're looking at it, that's a pretty smart move from the producers. It's like, wait, sorry, you want to spend how much on VFX? Why? Does it matter?
Yeah.
Have you
like,
read
no
the
one's gonna-
script?
Yeah.
yeah.
Thing on the cheap. Well, I think besides all the problems we're talking about with this movie, it being over 2 hours long is another one of the biggest problems. Like they could have hacked out about 30 minutes of Edward and his weird.
I mean,
creepy-
this is the kind of movie that needs to be 85, 90 minutes max. You
Right.
get in, you get out, and you know, and especially if you're planning. How many of these? The 4 or 5 or
Four.
however many they went
There was
all
4, I
Harry
think.
Potter on it, and this wasn't the last one, 2 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
hmm
You know, I mean, you can't follow the Lord of the Rings and the Harry Potters and stuff like that if you need to.
I realize it's a vampire romance movie between a teenage girl and a 108-year-old man, so nothing weird about that. And but I don't understand the purpose, the whole family's purpose for being involved with humans at all at any level, right? Going to school, being a doctor. What does any of this even make any sense? Like, what is the purpose behind that? Again, you know, good on the movie for not explaining anything because there is no purpose for it, right?
Right.
What's the purpose of him continually going to high school? Like, what
Or
purpose does that serve? I've never been that bored. Keep going to fucking high school.
I think they're supposed to be good,
and
like good
vampires
Samaritans. You
sleep
know,
with
like they're putting back out into the world because they hate that they're vampires.
But I don't think
Oh.
it's not like they're working at a soup kitchen. They're just going to school. They're not saving lives. They're not. I mean, the doctor guy is, I guess, but you know, he's about the only one who's Carlisle.
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 That's right.
Carlisle. Anyways, Carlisle. I like how everybody calls him Carlisle.
Well, see, the werewolves, right? They're all living on the reservation, right? They're all like Native American, right?
I think so.
So they sort of get to do their own thing by default, right? They're sort of, but for the vampires, they sort of have to find a way to either assimilate or just completely go off the grid, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and I don't understand the purpose. I hear what you're saying, Dana, but there's no indication of that in the film. Maybe it's in the book of what the purpose of even interacting with humans is doing. Besides him finally meeting the one that he can't read her brain and her blood drives him crazy. You know, so
Right.
So did they explain
then-
why he can't read her brain?
she's gonna
There's
think.
nothing there.
Zing!
got him.
Hot
He
take from
can read her
Doug.
mind. He can read her mind.
Yeah. You know, another thing about this movie that people always, I forgot, people used to talk about it a lot was Kristen Dunst. Not Kristen Dunst. What's her name? Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart, yeah.
That
Sure,
she
Kristen
was just a
Dunst.
horrible actress.
She's an OG
And,
wooden board.
The
Mhm.
thing is, everyone needs to share the blame on this one. They are all terrible
Yeah.
in this
I mean,
movie.
yeah, is it's obviously they're working with what they're given, and it seems
Yeah.
honestly a lot of this dialogue and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure the best dialogue happens when they use that helicopter or the drone and they're flying around Kristen and Edward, and we can't hear what they're saying, and they're just moving around going
Right.
like this. I'm pretty sure most of the good conversation happened then.
Yeah, that was the best part.
That'd be kind of
Yeah,
a cool
no, it
date
was-
though, if you like grabbed onto your date's neck and he like brought you up trees like this. That'd be
Mhm.
kind of fun.
Yeah, clearly on some ropes or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On a
he's like
segue
Tarzan.
down the path or
Yeah.
something.
Vampires love trees.
Yeah.
Their love of climbing and views. So
Ah,
So that they can get glittered.
mhm.
there's that part too. I remember Dana when we first really watched it, and that was I don't think we knew about this, and that was the reveal that this is why we can't be seen in the daylight because we look like fucking diamond rings or some shit, and I'm like, yeah, this is some stupid shit. I mean, again, I guess I know we're not the demographic, but
Yeah.
I mean, 13-year-old girls must have been all this shit because the movies made zillions of billions of dollars in the
Yeah.
mid.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, watching this movie, I never saw them when they came out, but I remember the books and the movies when they came out. Dan and I, we were teenagers. Do you remember Dan and like the craze that was going on
Oh,
at
absolutely.
school over this
Absolutely,
shit?
yeah.
The books were everywhere. Every girl you walked by had one of these things, and they usually had read them multiple times. Like every book they had read cover to cover,
Yeah.
like at least a handful of times.
Well, they're
They were
like
always talking about the
they're like
movies.
George R. R. Martin books where you don't want to miss nothing because there's so much
Right.
detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
in the
really
story.
intelligent stuff going on. But no, it definitely worked for them because I remember there was a lot of years where it was just everywhere, and the midnight premieres too for all these
Mhm.
movies were huge, like the
Yeah.
lines, all that kind of stuff. So it definitely whatever they did worked for someone. I don't know if it worked. I don't know if it worked today though. I think if they try to do this all again right now with the current batch of 13 to 15-year-olds, I don't know if it would work.
It's hard to say because
I don't know.
how
if
did it
the-
work back then? But it did.
Yeah, well, it was whatever was happening in the entertainment climate back then, because that's when Hunger Games was also getting big too. It was about around the same time that was exploding, and so you kind of just and then Harry Potter was getting finished, so it was starting to wrap up. I
yeah.
think we were around maybe book 5 or 6 in the movies by then. So we
Yeah, I
have like
remember
these
that. I mean,
huge
obviously-
sagas,
And you had some copycats like the who was that, Percy Jackson. They were
Mhm.
trying to pick up young adult
Lightning
series
Thief.
books to
Yep.
try and I think that one only did 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Is
Terrible
everybody
movies.
was trying to pick up on some young adult book series to catch the next big thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, I would different type of book, obviously, but I would argue that the Hunger Games movies are good. I actually really like them, and I read
They're-
all the
they're
books.
fine.
Too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and especially compared to these movies, there's
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
there's
And
no
it-
question they're
Stories
better.
and interesting characters, and I think I mean, I like I said, I own those films. I really like them actually. the Hunger
Yeah.
Games, I think they're good.
No, I liked them. I don't know if I ever saw the very last one. Was
It's not the best of them, but it wraps it up. It's like Return of the Jedi, right? Not the best of them, but it wraps it up.
right?
What
Yeah,
you need from- It's what you need from a third film.
yeah.
Mhm.
But the books are good too. So I like anything post-apocalyptic. So
Yeah, I
Right.
like the books. So I mean, whatever was going on at the time, like it definitely worked. But I don't know if there's anything like that happening right now because, and we've talked about this so many times on the podcast before. And I think one of the big things that I really miss personally is the midnight release. I really, really miss that. And now we have like you can go at like 7 the day before the big release and get that movie done. Like
They're
They
gonna
don't
just
even do midnight releases.
Not
a lot.
really.
And they don't even do midnight
they're gonna
showings.
and we were there. We were just asleep.
Well,
Right.
yeah, like Prometheus. And
oh, no good.
yeah.
And District 9
Indiana Jones.
and
Well, see,
Indiana
that's funny because
Force
at
Awakens.
this time, like, of course, I was getting out of school to go and watch these movies, so I got out of school for the fourth Indiana Jones movie. That was fantastic because I had somehow convinced my mom that we weren't doing star testing that week, which we indeed were. So I got about 4 hours hours of
That's
sleep
not
and then
called
went and did.
convincing. That's called lying. But
Oh yeah, well,
That's
you know,
called
she was
fooling.
convinced that I didn't have it then, so I'm gonna go with
I know
convinced.
what was going on at school for you.
Exactly.
You could have
So
told me.
it was easy. So, but it was great because like going to all those midnight premieres, like I really missed that, you know, and like the lines outside and talking to people beforehand and like getting excited, especially for these legacy films. Like Prometheus was a really good midnight showing.
Hell yeah.
I think we saw the midnight showing to I think it was midnight to the Star Trek 2009.
Well, I don't know
I
if
That would
was
have been cool.
I can't remember if that was midnight, but the event was cool because they had those nerds coming out and doing trivia and getting destroyed by the audience because you know nobody really wants that. So like, but like that was fun and like it made it a thing and it was a lot of fun to go to movie theaters. I absolutely missed that. I really missed the midnight release because like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like you're
I
waiting
agree
there
with
for
that.
hours, right? And the tension is just building up, and you're like, no, I
Build
really
up.
want to see this movie. Yeah, it almost made it
Yeah,
better.
well,
in a
it
way.
was really fun too getting to know. Well, I don't know unless you had a shitty. I never had a shitty experience, but it usually was fun getting to know all the people that were in line with you.
Yeah.
Because you had your own like little kumbaya circle. Usually, like it's a few hours that you're waiting there, so you're like kind of sitting down. And if it was a franchise, then it was really cool because then you get to just basically nerd out for
Yeah.
X amount of hours.
Yeah.
You know, like I never. I don't know if I ever went to a midnight premiere of any Star Wars film. I really wish I had. I might have. I think I saw Revenge of the Sith like the day after it came out. It's probably the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
But the Harry Potter films, the last like 2 or 3 of them, I went to the midnight premieres, and that was wild because everyone's dressed like their favorite wizards or witches, and they're having like full blown duels in the lobby or out like outside on the patio. What do you like, you know? They're casting the spells like
Yeah.
all the different spells, expelling armor, so
They were
all the
wearing
spells.
each other's
Nice,
glasses.
nice. You got
Oh,
one
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
I got one in there. That's the standard. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like the jab.
Mhm.
That's just like the jab.
That's your opening punch, right?
Right, exactly.
Spoilers.
I
But it
just
was
walked
fun.
around, did parcel tongue. everywhere I went.
Parcel. Oh yeah.
Parcel tongue.
Parcel
Talk like
tongue?
snake. Parcel
What
tongue.
is it? Parcel.
It's parcel tongue.
I said
Parcel
possum.
Mouth.
I was doing a apostle tongue.
You're just talking like an
Oh.
opossum. Just.
Reading scripture and
Wow. He sounds like a,
Yeah.
a night trash creature. Cool.
Night trash.
Remember Doug when we went and
Uh,
did the Skyrim midnight
Oh,
premiere?
yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That might have been the last.
Oh, midnight premiere for video games used to be a thing too. That's right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was a lot of fun
Forgot
because
about
Doug knew the guy that worked at the GameStop, and so we like went and put our names down, and then we just
Yeah.
like
yeah,
fucked off for a
you
couple
come
hours.
pick Dana up, and I'd say see you later because I'm just gonna sleep because I wasn't in midnight showings of games. But
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
you
it
come
was so
pick up
good.
Dana to do a midnight showing of a game or whatever that was.
It was great. Getting home at
just
like
fun.
1 in the morning, and then just
Lot of
like
fun.
getting ready to play.
Yeah.
I
Um,
remember that.
Let's do it.
But I remember that like giant line, and I think we came back from eating, and so we just like walked in to the front of the line, and we were the first people to get the game. And we walked back out, you know, just like strolled out, and Doug had his collector's edition, so it's just huge fucking box with this handle on it and stuff. And everybody's watching us, right? Everybody's watching us leave. And then I looked
Yeah.
back, and then I could see everybody watching us, and so Doug and I were just like, "Woo!" you know, bring out everybody in line just like started cheering and stuff. Like that was so much fun. I missed that,
great.
That is
so
cool.
much.
It was so genuine. It was organic. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was the community, you know, and like you get a lot of that stuff now with like all the cons that have popped up. Like I remember RTX a couple years ago was a lot of the same kind of thing. Just waiting for hours
Right.
in lines to go watch panels or whatever it was, you know, and like talking to people around you. It was a lot of like that same type of feeling, you know, where you're just waiting, and so you just
Mhm.
make friends around you. So yeah.
Last time I experienced that was when me and Perry went to Star Wars Fest right before The Force Awakens was released.
Oh,
So they
okay.
had
That's
it
interesting.
was where they revealed the new Stormtrooper. That's when you
Mm.
could go into this room that took hours and hours to wait for, and it showed Rey's costume and Finn's costume.
That's crazy.
The
Hours.
guy, the Darth
Little
Vader
did we know.
costume. You know, exactly. And that was really cool. But you're right.
Back
I
when it was
remember
still
waiting in line and everyone just talking about Star Wars the whole goddamn. It was a great experience, but there was this one guy that was really, really, really pissed off. Like he was angry and not in a fun way about everyone making fun of George Lucas's neck. 'Cause there was this guy dressed up
Whoa.
like George Lucas and he had like a rubber neck on and it was all fun. And I'm laughing my tits
That's
off. Man. I think
funny.
that shit's funny.
Yeah.
This guy's all mad. Fuck, this is bullshit, man. Fucking making fun of everybody making fun of George Lucas. This is fucking bullshit, man. I'm like, whoa, bro. I mean, was he your dad? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? And he's just like, well, you know, this man created with Star Wars. He should be respected, man. I'm like, what, dude? He just have you seen his neck? It's wobbling.
Look, we're just talking about his neck.
Making fun of George Lucas at this, you know, fucking holy event or whatever. Like, well, I love Star Wars, but chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
know,
Well, you ever notice those guys
still
just
talking
call
about
him George?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just refer to him as George. They're on a first name basis. Like that's not what George wanted. That's not what George envisioned.
But you don't fucking
Okay.
know George.
When I was
Yeah.
in a golf cart on Lucas Skywalker Ranch, George just told me all this stuff, what he wanted.
George told me. Yeah.
Oh, George, what a guy.
So yeah,
his vision.
this movie, again, like I said, it's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel. It's kind of not really fair to completely shit all over it. I don't think it's a terrible film. I don't hate it when I'm watching.
No.
It's just not great. I feel like they could have done a lot. Again, the audience is 13-year-olds. Like, I think they could have done a
Yeah.
lot more with it, made it better. Because like the Hunger Games are for kids or
Right.
teenagers.
Or same demographic as this movie.
Yeah, pretty much. And like I said, I think those movies are pretty goddamn good considering that they're young adult fiction. You know, again, different.
Yeah.
stuff. That had romance and all the crap between, you know, the
Oh,
lovers
for sure.
between
And
fucking.
what was that Maze Runner movie?
That was the first
Maze
you
one.
watch,
Runner. That
whatever.
was another one.
I watched the first one. I like that.
I watched the first
You
one.
know,
Divergent was another one.
Yeah.
I didn't.
That was terrible. But Maze
I saw
Runner
that.
was
I-
great
the first,
until the last 2 minutes of the movie when they introduced more humans, and I was like, oh no, you guys had it so good.
Yeah.
Ugh, that reveal at the
Yeah,
end
I
when
agree
all the
with that. That
scientists are
was-
dead, and I was like, holy shit! Like
did-
this
Oh.
young adult movie has just like flipped for me. I liked it up until that point too, but then when they revealed that everybody controlling the game or whatever it was, the maze, it was all dead. And so it was all these constructs just kind of like doing what they're supposed to be doing for however many years, I thought that was
Right.
crazy idea. And then the series just like immediately afterwards.
Yeah, it kind of went Matrix.
Ooh,
Right
Yeah,
now,
it kind of did. didn't
Yeah.
it?
Fucking
It
fantastic.
was a
And then
Matrix
the
thing.
second one opens up with a underground disco, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Again, because need a sequel or a threequel, whatever the hell happened.
Right.
He's flying at the end as Superman. He's the chosen one. He's can see the Matrix. We don't need anything more. And the Maze Runner, I think there was a lot more story going on. It just kind of fell apart after a while.
I mean,
But
the books are.
It's really good. I like the first Maze Runner. I think it's a lot of mystery. You wonder what's going on. I think the kids are all good in it and stuff. So
Yeah.
Dally and all that. Oh, Dally. That's the.
Dally.
What?
the hell
I don't
that
know,
mean?
but it's got Jojen Reed's in it.
Mhm.
And one, it's
Which
funny
movie?
in the Maze Runner.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
So in the books for the Maze Runner, they have one of my it's my biggest pet peeve for like a young adult book is when they make up a cuss word, so they can cuss all the time. And I can't remember what the cuss word was in Maze Runner. It was like shucks or something like that. I don't know. It was fucking stupid. And
Shucks.
so they said it every sentence, and it was replaced for everything, right? Like it was the bad word that all these kids
Yeah.
used. And I had to stop reading after the first couple of pages. So I was so annoyed. It was
That's
I'm
really
so
annoying in
glad.
a book, especially because you're reading it.
yeah,
You're
and as
reading
I'm
these
seeing it, I'm
dumb
literally
cuss words.
seeing it on the page. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So luckily they got rid of that in the movie. That was a smart choice. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's fucking stupid.
Wrote
bet.
that right out.
Yeah, how about you just don't cuss? This is kind of like
Yeah.
a small tangent, like not like we do that, but like when people like censor themselves on social media by putting asterisks, it's just like we all know what you're saying. Either say the word or just don't include it. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, it's like you just
Right.
Yeah,
fucking
you
do
did. Yeah, you did it. just
Yeah.
there's no mystery here. What are you doing? But yeah. So I don't know. I was watching this movie and I was trying to figure out like what exactly could they have done to make it better. I don't think this movie kind of warrants that. Kind of like we were saying earlier, it's just like it is what it is, and that's what it does. But I will say it did a fantastic job of bringing in the amount of people that it brought in. Like the amount of money that these movies made was incredible.
Yeah.
Opposite their review scores, which like for the first movie it was 49%.
But
You know,
you know,
yeah, and for the budget as well, like they did insane. Like so,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. I don't know if it's marketing or it just like struck a chord with a certain demographic at a certain time, but like those movies and the books too, like did it's you kind of have to laud something that does that because it's incredibly hard to do. So
Yeah. Well, I
and
think
hats
that
off to
was,
that.
I guess what I was trying to say earlier too. I think it was right place, right time.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's something about the time in which they did it that was perfect. It is, I guess they've always done this sort of teenage romance thing. I feel like there's a lot of books and stuff that have like vampires or whatever with the teenage
Oh shit!
romance thing. But
$37 million. Sorry, that's just
was it
That's-
really
I
that
mean,
high?
37 million.
it's more than I thought. Honestly, 37
Yeah.
million's
Yeah.
a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
Tony? Yeah.
Okay, fuck this movie. Those effects should 37 million, and
Yeah,
that's
the
pretty
budget
bad,
for
man.
that shitty?
And
I
the
think-
cast would it be expensive now?
No,
Like
back then they wouldn't have been expensive.
but not then. Yeah, like
Yeah,
you have Anna Kendrick before anyone knew who Anna Kendrick was.
yeah,
And you have
and
Kristen Stewart and Rob
maybe.
Pattinson.
she probably wouldn't even $1 million at that point.
No, no.
No.
But none of these people were high dollar actors in
No.
2008. So I don't know what the hell is up with
Well,
that.
how
It's pretty
long
bad.
Book rights, maybe?
That's
I don't
pretty
know.
bad.
The books are pretty
Dude,
crazy at the
37 million,
time.
That's crazy money for
Yeah. But-
what you
Yeah.
get,
Yeah, but
which is very TV show like. Again, special effects,
Kind of like CW.
dialogue. That's a great. It's
like
a higher
CW effect.
dollar CW. It's not much better than it. It's really
No.
not. So, yeah, fuck this movie. 37 million is crazy.
Yeah,
Think about
pretty
it,
bad.
that's a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's crappy. So
I mean, I absolutely think that the hype is the best part of the Twilight series. Like the fact that they're able to do that. And I mean, people still love these movies to this day. Which is fine.
Well, it's funny. The Taylor Lautner guy. This was kind of his big. This is his only real big thing, right? I don't remember seeing him in anything after this.
Shark
Well,
Boy
he
and
did that.
Lava
He
Girl.
did that
before.
movie Abducted or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
I
just went totally
remember that.
toilet,
That was
and
bad.
they were
Yeah.
raking him because his acting was terrible, and I think that pretty much destroyed any.
Well,
That-
he's
that
Shark,
put him
will
in the
always be
tubes.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl to me. So.
Well, so funny side note about Shark Boy and Lava Girl. My coworker who's actually coming to pick me up tonight in a couple hours. We're going to work. He and I had a boring day at work, and so we threw on Netflix, and we found out that there's a Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel or
Mhm.
spinoff.
Mhm.
Did you know about this? It's a Netflix original, and we sat down and we were so bored we watched it.
And
And you know what? They got the original Lava Girl back.
because she
But
doesn't
they
do
didn't get-
anything.
Well, they didn't get Lautner.
How do you
I was
not
like,
get Lautner back?
how do
He's
you
not
not
doing
get-
anything.
Lautner, he can't be that expensive.
Not anymore.
There's no way he's that expensive. I mean, come on, like he did Twilight and that's it.
We just need to go pick him up, whatever street corners he's hooking on. Because
I
his
was
career's
I was
over.
shocked. I was like, you got the original Lava Girl, and so then the Shark Boy, the stand-in was some dude who doesn't have one word of dialogue, and he is wearing a shark mask, so you can't see his face,
Wow.
and it looks like.
His dad
Do you,
That's what I
yeah,
wanna
do you remember around when Shark Boy and Lava Girl came out? Actually, there were these swim goggles you could get. I remember seeing commercials for them
remember
all
that.
the time. They
Yeah.
made you look like a shark. They're like a shark fin.
Yeah.
They were goggles. You could swim with them.
And they came
They
with the
come-
hands.
Yeah, they
With
came
the
with
webbed hands.
That's,
Yeah.
that's basically what he's wearing.
Oh my
wearing-
They went to Walmart. That was their budget.
Yeah, he's
Naked
wearing like one of
Flying,
those like
something like
shark
Shark Boy.
goggle masks, and it's not Taylor Lautner. obviously. You can
Like I
tell.
said, is Mr. Electricity Dad in it?
No, George Lopez
Mm-mm.
wasn't in it either.
Yeah.
Can't look at the way.
But you know who was in it? Fucking the guy who plays Spearman, Spear guy, Oberyn Martell. Oberyn Martell.
Oh,
Oh, and he's Mando.
oh, Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Oh,
Okay.
Pedro
Spearman.
Pascal is in it. He's
Spear
the parent.
guy. Spear guy.
How do we not get
always-
that?
I don't know, Spear guy.
I mean, he's used 2 spears. You know, he used that
Spearman.
Beskar spear, and he's the spear guy in
You know,
Game
you're
of Thrones.
right. He's been given a spear twice.
Yeah,
Two
he is
different-
spear guy. That's
He is Spear guy. I stand by that.
I should have gotten. I know. I should have gotten that Spear guy. I'm sorry. I apologize.
yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, he's
I had
in
no
it.
idea that there was a sequel to that absolute shit film.
Yeah, yeah. It's a spinoff.
I know it's made for kids. Even kids didn't like that fucking thing.
No,
It
no,
was
I
not good.
wasn't a fan either. I like Spy Kids.
Spy Kids is great.
I know it's the same creator, right? Those are fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm of course a big fan of Robert
Yeah,
Rodriguez.
he's awesome.
So he's hitting this. He's had a lot of minutes are great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Dust Till Dawn is fan fucking tastic.
Mm,
Yes.
that's a classic.
The zombie one's really good.
Planet Terror.
Planet Terror.
Planetary is
Yeah.
just over the top. The first Machete is fantastic. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, that was great.
It was ridiculous, but first
Yeah.
one's fun.
Oh, Danny Trejo.
All right. Well, what else do we have to
And
say
of
about
course,
this movie?
I was gonna
And
ask you
unfortunately,
guys.
it's like
Well, my last thing I was going to ask you guys, because I actually haven't seen the other movies, I was really curious. There is this big showdown that happens, right, between the vampires and the werewolves or whatever. Did you see that? Did you watch these movies and
In
watch
what?
the fights?
No.
Look, the other Twilight movies.
oh,
I was always
never
more
got-
interested
that's-
in. This is just a side note, but I was always more interested in the blood feud that they like talk about for 2 seconds between the werewolves and the vampires. I
Yeah,
always thought that would actually be really like that would be a movie I would watch, you know, because that sounds like fun, like like fun in the monkey versus lizard kind of way.
but
You know?
Bella's being hunted, and we have to protect her.
Yeah, but I guess that's
Because-
what
That's
sells.
It's more important.
Because
Something.
why?
Sure.
Because she's the main character. You get you
And I
guys
love it.
should-
It's like I know it's only been 2 days, and I know I'm a 108-year-old vampire. I love you. And what the
I can't stand to smell you. Stink.
I was thinking that when we were watching it, I was like, wow, this is this is a fast timeline to go from saving you from a van crushing you to I love you forever. This is very short.
Mhm.
Then I started thinking about all movies, any with adults, people are in love in like 2 days, man. I love for the rest of their lives, I love you forever, gonna die for you in like 2-3 days. In
That's
movies
true.
time. So I can't really knock it for that. And they're teenagers, but I do love at the end she's like ready to turn into a vampire for him. Like, dude, man,
Wow.
this is
Oh, she's
third
all in.
fuck-
Girl, it's been 2 days.
Mhm.
Been 2 days.
But he
you're only
t-
at prom.
But
You're
he
supposed to
sport
get laid
he,
at prom.
he
You're not supposed to turn
spun
into
the
a fucking
bad guy's head
vampire.
off. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody did that for me, I'd take my pants off. Okay.
I love how too. He tells, "I've killed people," and he's like, what? She's like,
I don't
"Well,
care.
I mean,
I don't care.
well, people can change." It's like that whole attitude. It's like, no, he's a fucking murderer.
Right.
You're just
Not just a murderer. This guy drinks blood. He
Yeah.
drinks people's blood.
He's drinked blood.
You
He's
know.
108 years old. He's been to 38 graduations.
He has to play vampire baseball to keep from wanting to drink blood.
Right.
How many red flags do you need, Kristen Dunst Stewart?
Kristen Dunst Stewart.
To let you know this is vampire's bad news. You're right though. He should be a fucking Rhodes Scholar after 100 years. Either a
Yeah.
Rhodes or just a regular Rhodes Scholar. Something. He's the dumb as a bag of rocks for being alive as long. Maybe that's what he rots his brain. Maybe he's got
Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's. I must have it myself. I can't remember what it's called. Alzheimer's.
Hey, you got
Did
close.
you call it old timers?
Man,
Old
did one-
timers, yeah.
Alzheimer's.
Old
That's a bone apple-
timers disease?
That's a bone apple tea for you right there.
There you go.
Oh, that's good.
One of my favorite subreddits is bone apple tea. But anyway, scores.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll go first. I will really only award it points based on, like I said before, the hype that it created and the fact that it made so much money and affected so many people for such a long time. So I give it like a 4 because there's nothing fixable with the movie, really. Like, it is what it is, and you know,
Yeah, it is what it is. It ain't horrible. It's definitely
Yeah.
seen worse.
yeah. So yeah,
That's-
I give it a 4
Yeah.
out of 10. So, Jer,
Um, after watching this again, because the first time I saw it, I think I was inebriated because I had never seen these when they came out, and then I watched it with Johnny like a year
Wasn't
ago
even
for the
drunk,
first
you
time.
Created.
Inebriated, yeah. And it was definitely pretty funny. The first time, it was worth a good couple laughs, a good belly laugh. This time around, it was pretty bad. So I think I would give it a 3. And the thing is, even though I give it a 3, I would consider watching the next one.
Yeah, I want to see what happens.
okay.
I want to see what happens. Kind of. I want to see some werewolf
I wanna
vampire action.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
So I don't know. I would. And you know what? It was nostalgic too, and nostalgic is a plus in my book. Nostalgic in like not a. I liked it, but also some of the way things were shot. I don't know if you guys noticed this when I was watching it. Just a side note, like the weird little tinting. The whole movie seems to be kind of this weird, like I don't know, bluish, greenish thing happening.
There were still
That's
still
the Prozac thing.
Yeah, but a lot of movies around that time were doing that. I don't know why.
they were still figuring out, being able to colorize films was like that was still and give it its own color palette was still in its infancy, really.
Yeah.
I mean, watch the first Matrix, right?
Mhm.
Green.
Green.
That
So
is a
very-
green movie. Yeah.
Where
that's
when
true.
you first saw it, it just looked cool and new and different, and now you're like, "Fuck, this is a green ass movie."
It's a green ass movie.
Figuring all this shit
Green ass movie.
Yeah.
a green ass movie. It's still figuring all this shit out, and this was
Yeah.
one of the things where they're still doing this colorist bullshit. Now it's seamless, right? They're so good at doing coloring films that you don't even notice it anymore. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
This is 08, so they're still figuring all this horse shit out. So.
I think this
Yeah.
is about the time where digital colorizing became a lot more prevalent, and because before,
Yeah.
I think it was right around the 2000s, like right around 2000, when they were still using a completely different way to colorize film. And so now that they have these digital consoles and they can do it with computers, they were going overboard with it, because look at Transformers. Transformers was 2008 also. And that movie is, for one, incredibly saturated, and it's also heavily teal and orange. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think it looks good because everything looks so like crisp and like dirty and grungy and stuff like that. But like
It looks
watching
better
that
than
movie,
this movie.
yeah, comparative
doubt.
Yeah.
to like even like a movie nowadays, like if you
think
watch
it's the same
Avengers,
budget.
probably, man, probably.
Now that I know this movie had $37 million fucking budget, that's practically that's the Transformers budget right there. I think.
It was for
Yeah.
all the tea
was
for
fun.
Robert Pattinson. Had to
Yeah.
import it.
Right? Because he's
See all the
actually
tea?
Yeah, all the tea. Yeah.
He used most of the money to buy the town of Forks, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
what?
Right.
Yeah, they bought the whole town. What? Where's there? And there's no vampire fangs in these vampires. No, even the bad guys.
No.
There's no-
I think they
Damn.
wanted these vampires to be as like
Boring.
un-horror like as possible.
Yeah.
They're really pretty. They don't have fangs. I don't recall you actually seeing them drink blood.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't recall there really being any blood for this
Well,
this
there's
fucking
a-
vampire movie has no blood.
When the bad vampires attack the boat guy, he just just off screen.
They got that security guard on that plant or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
what-
But,
they wanted
but you're
these
seeing
vampires.
up through the screen of the walkway, and he's like screaming or whatever.
This
Yeah.
definitely no 30 Days of Night. That's for damn sure.
definitely ain't no Let Me In, because that is a fucking
No,
gory ass vampire movie.
there's some blood for you.
Vampire love movie film. That's your movie. The Let
Yeah.
Me In is the movie.
Mhm. That's what it actually would be.
That's
Or
Twilight.
kind of like reverse, like having this vampire who's at least 100 years old, preying on other people, because that's what she needs to do to survive.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be
It's not
floating
her-
outside of people's windows and shitting her pants when she smells them because she can't read their brain. It doesn't really happen.
I love it's totally just normal for a 108-year-old man to watch you while you're sleeping.
It's kind of cute.
Well,
He doesn't seem
yeah.
to mind.
That's actually how I get to bed. Yeah, I have a little cutout that I put on my patio.
Edward
have
Cullen
this-
just throw him
I'm
in
Edward Cullen.
and-
Yeah, just he watches over me
Like-
at night
Do you bedazzle him sometimes?
all the time. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
actually-
looks like he's in the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually have a little solar panel out there, and I wrapped them around with LED lights, so when the sun hits it, he glistens.
Yeah.
It's great. So
Doug, what's your rating?
Well, I'm going to give it an extra point just because I understand that I'm not the target audience and the target demographic. So,
Sure.
I mean, as dumb it is, I mean, like, there's that one character, James, who walks up. He does it like twice. One time in the baseball, he walks up like this and he goes, and it's like, what the hell are you doing? Like he's modeling
you?
or something. And but anyway, I mean, it's not terrible. You've all made good points. Like I said, I watched it, and Daryl and I watched it, and it's fine. Not my idea of what vampires should be, but you know, maybe we'll go in a different direction next time. But I'll give it 4 out of 10.
okay, yeah, pretty standard rating here. So yeah, I guess there's not really much to say about this movie. I do remember though.
It's loud.
What was
It was
that?
loud.
The fucking ice cream truck is loud.
Is that an ice cream truck?
Yeah.
Well, that's your neighbor, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
That's
either
right.
a latte or ice cream.
It's
That
both.
was
Yeah.
the hour.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
Who thought that putting mayonnaise on a fucking on cooked corn was the way to
Don't
go?
put mayonnaise on anything. Just get rid of it.
Put
Oh,
mayonnaise
no,
on-
it's
Put
good on
mayonnaise
that
in the
corn,
trash,
though.
dude. No,
It's
no,
good on that
no,
corn
Oh,
with the chili
no,
powder.
No,
you know what's
get
good
that off.
is avocado mayonnaise. We've been doing that lately.
Ooh,
Just
that
don't
sounds good.
That's
have the
actually good.
avocado. Get rid of the mayonnaise. What are you doing with the mayonnaise?
Let's
You've
take
made
a
it that.
taste.
It's
If
disgusting.
Avocado is
maybe-
kind of hard to squirt out of a bottle onto your sandwich.
Right.
So,
Put some mayonnaise in
Mayonnaise
there,
is
and
one
then
of
you're
my proofs that the Lord exists.
good.
Yeah.
Like I don't have much proof, not the eye structure of your eye or the complex fact that your testicles need to be 3 degrees cooler than the rest of your body. But mayonnaise makes sense.
But mayonnaise.
that's my question.
makes the
When
cut.
Edward goes out in the sun, are his balls like little disco balls or something like that? Hanging out.
You know what?
Uh-huh.
Bella probably knows the answer to that.
Yeah,
We'll have to ask her.
it
Yeah.
might be in the
His dick
books.
looks like a pop star's microphone, right? And it's got disco balls for balls.
Yeah. Disco balls for balls.
I kind of want to see that movie.
All right, it's karaoke night at
Yeah, I'm
Edward's
sure.
house.
Yeah. Edward, get them balls up here.
Yeah, take your balls out. The colons are
Take your
crazy,
balls
man.
out, Edward.
Those are crazy.
They're
man.
reflecting on Bella's ceiling of her room.
That would be crazy. Could you imagine if only their balls lit up? What if you brought her out to the middle of this forest and he's like, "You don't understand," and then pulled his
Yeah.
balls out?
Oh,
Be a very
My
different
Oh, man.
movie.
Doctors.
You know
Yeah.
what? It certainly would not have been approved
yes.
upon viewing.
No.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that would have thrown me for a loop. I do remember when we did watch this movie for the first time, and he's like about to show her, not his balls, but that he glistens in the sun. And my dad
Yeah.
and I were just like, ooh, oh, like something's happening. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
actual like vampire lore that's happening. They show up in
There's
mirrors,
something-
you know.
there's something-
I'm pretty sure they just shove garlic down their throats the entire movie. And so we're like, okay, cool. They're about to he's about to burn or something like that. Like she's been looking at
Right.
vampire shit, and then he just like sparkles, and I was
We're
done.
like, fucking-
I think we actually laughed. We laughed out loud.
Yeah, we did laugh. We
So it was a good
died
time.
laughing.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
Really quick, we got time for a room poll, Stiltskin.
Sure.
Ripple.
I'm curious with everyone here in the chat. What's your favorite vampire movie? Out of all vampire
Ooh,
movies, like what do you think
yeah.
is your best? What's the best one that for whatever reason you either like or it properly you feel like it properly portrays vampirisms.
Yeah. Chat. I want to hear you. It's your time to
I
shine.
was talking about us too, but also the chit chat.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Chad.
saying. I'm pointing at the chat.
You hear me?
You know who we
Go.
are.
Okay. Well,
Who's
before
Chad?
I go, I will warn you guys. I forgot my charger at my folks' house a couple days ago. My computer is going to die, so I may call in on my phone. If I
Okay.
disappear, I'll recall in on my phone. Just so you
Okay.
know.
All right, go.
Favorite vampire movie? That's tough.
Me?
Right off the bat, I want to say Underworld.
Okay.
The first Underworld movie I really enjoy it. It's not like great. It's kind of a Matrix ripoff in a lot of ways. Honestly, it's like
Yeah.
cashing in on the Matrix thing. Oh, you know what? Actually, never mind. I know my favorite vampire movie is Interview with a Vampire. I like that one.
Strong. Yes.
That's
Solid.
a good
Good
one.
one.
I love Interview with a Vampire. Holds up. I just rewatched it recently.
I'm
Dana?
gonna say Let Me In because watching it recently when we did I guess not recently. We did that episode on it like a year ago. And
Yeah.
breaking it down like really like diving into the movie. That's just a really, really well done movie. Very depressing, but
Yes.
yeah, I think it's a really interesting take on what a vampire would do with, and how they would actually act with humans. It's probably
That's
something
actually,
akin to
yeah,
that.
that's a good example of a movie where it really takes an honest approach to like what would it look like for a vampire to try and assimilate into regular life.
Yeah.
It's the most realistic, I feel, portrayal of how vampires
Yeah.
behave, and it makes it more interesting because it's a 12-year-old girl.
Right.
But I think that both those movies are the most accurate portrayal, at least sexy, because a lot of vampire movies are sexy. Interview with a Vampire, I love that movie also, but it's
Yeah.
also it's a sexy vampire movie.
Totally. Brad Pitt, Tom
It's a very
Cruise,
homoerotic
like
vampire movie.
yeah.
There's your Kirsten Dunst there, Jeremy.
That's
Yeah, that's
there's
what she is.
Yeah,
Kirsten
your-
Dunst. Got the right Kirsten now.
And
Yeah.
I can't remember Antonio Pantalones plays Armand. He's
Right.
great in it too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Pantalones.
that's your favorite vampire. You think it properly portrays vampires and stuff? Dana?
I think he does a pretty good job of hitting all the rules. But yeah, that would probably be my favorite, like actual vampire movie. Like regardless of the, following the actual lore and stuff like that, it does a pretty good job. And second, because that's my one. But I do have to give a shout out to What We Do in the Shadows, because they do hit the rules. They do hit the rules in that movie.
That's a
which
great
is incredible
movie, yeah.
for being able to do what they did. And then I also want to say Dawnbreakers. Dawnbreakers is actually a pretty decent vampire movie. It's a very interesting
Ethan Hawke.
idea. Yeah, very,
Ethan
very
Hawke.
cool idea.
Haven't seen that one.
That's where everybody becomes a vampire. And so the humans are the minority. And they're actually being harvested and used as like, we milk them like cows,
Doesn't that have William Dafoe in it?
Yep, he's in it. I think he's the first
Love.
vampire to turn himself back into a human by nearly killing himself. So
Okay, this rings a bell.
Sam Neill's in it too, right?
Sam Neill is the main bad guy. Yeah, so he's great. So
Ethan Hawke is the main character.
yeah,
That's right.
it's
I haven't seen
it
it.
follows a very like equilibrium. You've heard the storyline where the guy's like super high in like this vampire society, and then he's like, wait a second, I don't want this anymore, and like gets out of it by following these like this little
Right.
subsection of society and completely revolutionizes the world. So there goes Jeremy. His computer just died. Boop.
And
All right, let me get rid of the overlay here. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. But then Let Me In is probably my favorite. So, what's yours?
Doug, I went Doug Goodness.
Mine would have to be Fright Night, 1985.
Hey, nice. I feel like I know what yours
it's-
is. That I want to guess.
Excellent.
It's to me, Fright Night is the modernization of the vampire movie. Is because before Fright Night we had the British Hammer films and Universal, and that was about it. And nice turn over. All right,
Oh,
there you
no.
go.
Oh, damn it. I wanted it to
Got
be
Seamless.
The other way.
It's all right. It still looks good. Still
Yeah,
works.
you're there.
Hello.
What's up?
I wanted to go this way, so
There you go.
did it work
There
now?
you go. Yeah, it
Oh, there
flipped.
we go. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted. There we go. Cool.
Go ahead and start over, Doug, because now
Okay,
Jeremy's
but
back.
yeah, like I was saying, is Fright Night from 1985, not to be confused with the remake with Colin Farrell and Anton Yelchin. And was, like I said, is it restarted, rebooted, gave a modern feel to the vampire lore, and by the same token, it still hits all the major what a vampire should be, including turning one of them into a wolf and stuff like that, just to kind of make things interesting. And
All the vampire lore, right? Because they
Yeah.
can also turn.
well, I mean, a lot of people say Evil Ed turns into a werewolf, and he doesn't.
Yeah, he turns into a wolf.
Mm.
Just he turns into a wolf per Bram Stoker's Dracula, where Dracula can turn into a wolf.
They can do mist, right? They can do turn into a
Bats,
wolf. They can turn into a bat.
and a wolf.
That's right.
And where he got those, I don't know. They don't really come from actual myth, but
He made him up in the book.
but Fright Night did it, and to me that was some of the pinnacle of practical effects. And on top of that was a good modern story, and it came out before Lost Boys. So
And I think what I love
my
about
guess.
what I love about Friday Night 2 is it was the first, because vampires are supposed to be very sexy and seductive and everything. And if you watch the original Dracula with, help me out, Doug,
Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi, he is anything but sexy. He's supposed
No.
now he can use
Right.
his eye power to bring you in, but he's not sexy or anything. But like, and Chris Sarandon was the first
Yeah.
version of a truly seductive, sexy vampire, and pulls it off amazingly well. That's what one of the things I've always loved about that movie too, is it really made sense now that a vampire could draw on his victims and how he does it.
And I mean, everything he's
First vampire
doing
movie-
makes sense as he's sort of
Yeah.
sitting into regular suburbia with the intention of staying there and sucking people's blood and everything else. So feeding on the local people. And like I said, when it came out, we hadn't seen anything like that before. Like I said, all
Yeah.
we had were essentially Hammer films and the Universal with Bela Lugosi and others doing it. So
Yeah.
Plus, the Billy Cole character was this protector that is some sort of zombie. We don't know because that's how he gets shot and he turns into fucking dirt.
Right.
But I've never really
Oh,
seen
that-
that before portrayed either, because vampires need either a hound of hell, right, or they need some sort of
and one of the interesting things that made it unique to that film was the crosses. The person holding the cross needed to have faith, and because Jerry Dandridge would just crush the cross, especially when like Peter Vincent didn't believe what he was doing, and as long as he didn't, it had no power, which I thought was an
Mhm.
interesting, unique take to give the movie itself its own flavor.
And there's this great, it's funny, there's this great part in Fright Night where the main character goes to Evil Ed to get in, he pays him to tell him about vampires. We're talking about a guy who loves horror films, doesn't know anything about vampires. It's exposition though, right? And it's necessary for the film, and the film's so good you don't notice that this is, why would this guy who loves Peter Vincent and who does vampire films, how does this guy know nothing about vampire lore? But you don't care anyways. Like I said, it's just good exposition for the film. But yeah, Danny, you're gonna guess what my favorite vampire film is?
Yeah, but before that, we do have someone in the chat. Brenda says
yeah,
Underworld
Canada.
Blood Wars. Underworld Blood Wars.
Hey, Underworld fans.
Yeah. So
Whoa, Blood Wars. Which one is that? That's
Yeah,
Is
but
that the one where
Dragons.
Scott Speedman is dead and
I don't
I can't
remember.
remember which one Blood Wars is.
Which one?
Okay, it's not the first or the second, right?
no, it's
Yeah,
like is that the one where the
I think that's the third one.
her daughter is frozen or something like that. There have been so many other ones.
Interesting that you went
Oh.
with an Underworld sequel,
Mhm.
Brenna or Brenda. Is it Brenda?
Brenda, yeah.
Brenda. Way to go, Underworld sequel.
Yeah. So I think that was the third
I
one.
like the Underworlds.
Yeah,
you know.
they're fun movies. It's got Kate Beckinsale, and then you can't go wrong with her.
Yeah.
So
That's why I watched.
No, you can't.
so but yeah, I do want to guess. I'm pretty sure yours is Lost Boys, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Always
Explain.
loved
Explain.
I think it was the first movie to make vampires cool, teenage vampires cool. They rode motorcycles, but it followed the lore too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Really closely, which is what I liked about it also. But the music is fucking amazing. I think it was perfectly cast. I don't know. It's nostalgia too, right?
Yeah.
Because I was a teenager when I saw that movie, and that movie just fucking blew me away. I read the book. Do I think it's the best vampire film? No, but it's definitely my favorite. It's my go-to if I want to watch vampires. If I want to watch sexy, cool vampires, teenage vampires, that's the one I go to for sure.
Yeah.
But I also really love Interview. I think Interview's also great.
It's a fantastic
Yeah.
movie.
But you cannot beat. Again, a lot of this has to do with nostalgia for The Lost Boys, right? Because I've seen it a billion times too. But probably Let Me In is probably, I think, the best vampire movie. Just because I don't know, it's just dark and creepy and just great.
Yeah, it really hits all the dark, creepy vampire.
It's such a heavy duty movie, man, emotionally and everything. But
yeah,
The Lost Boys is a fucking fantastic movie. And Joel Schumacher, a lot of these were his ideas too, right? To make it, because it would be a very different film. Joel Schumacher's the one that made him sexy vampires, made it fun, put the music in. You know, he made that movie what it is, and then he went and ruined the Batman films. But he also directed one of my favorite movies of all time, probably my top 10, which is Falling Down. Kirk Douglas.
Ooh,
great movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Also directed that, right? So pretty talented guy. And he also directed St. Elmo's Fire, which is not a great movie, but it's one of those movies where there's no real story, but there's a lot of acting and talking. And it's a coming of age film, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's one of those movies where you have no idea what's happening.
It's definitely
It's got that
considered
story.
a coming of age film.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like
There's
a
no
John
real
Hughes
story.
film, but like more mature.
Yeah.
You know?
Like adults.
Yeah.
So that's the same director, right? To make these three extreme, very different types of movies and then ruin the Batman franchise. But yeah, definitely favorite one of all time.
You know, and
but
I'd be remiss to not.
Great too. 30 Days of Night is also great.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I love 30 Days of Night. That is a fun vampire movie.
The Thing meets vampires.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that is a great way to put it.
I was gonna say I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple fun vampire movies that I don't think are like necessarily great in terms of lore or anything like that, but there's fun kind of action vampire movies. Is the Blade series?
Yeah,
the first Blade.
I really like the.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I really like.
Yeah, no, I think it's good, and also, you know, what's really fun to watch is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
I actually did like that movie. That one is actually
it's actually like a lot of fun to watch. That movie. The vampires are pretty cool in that.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious to see Abraham Lincoln killing vampires.
Yeah,
right.
Yes. So we don't know that he didn't. So
right.
I just want to say,
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We weren't there.
Yeah. The victors write the history books, and the vampires didn't win. Okay, so they couldn't.
Well, the vampires are the Confederates. Yeah.
And ain't it got what's the name in it too?
Probably. I don't know what you mean.
One of Danon's girls.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes. Yes.
I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I have a soft spot for that woman.
Yeah, she's all right, I guess. Like attractive women.
Yeah, she's got a couple of soft spots.
All right. So yeah, no. And there goes our viewers. So I think that's it. Unless you guys have anything else to add think that's Twilight.
No.
That was like half. That was like a third Twilight, and then just 2/3 everything else. Which I
Yeah,
mean,
just not enough there to really talk about them.
what can
It's-
what can we do?
It's not horrible. I
figured.
never gave my Twilight rating.
Oh,
Yeah,
give your
you
Twilight
didn't.
rating.
So give it as we go out.
Yeah,
I actually give it a 5. Surprisingly enough,
really. Wait. Okay,
But
so you're giving a higher rating. So explain.
I give it one more point because I liked one of the directors of the movies.
Yeah.
I think Lords of Dogtown's a great movie, and that's a Catherine Hardwicke.
Oh.
Hardwicke.
I didn't.
No,
I like
I
Lords
didn't
of
know that.
Dogtown. It's got Heath Ledger with these great teeth that they put in his head,
Nice.
and it's a good movie. But she directed that one too, so I
Okay.
give it one more point for Lords of Dogtown.
Okay.
All right.
I don't
There
know
you
if that's
go.
fair, but we're not critics, so
It is what when
Cool.
you deal with Twilight. You
Yeah.
gotta,
Right.
I'd forgotten that she had directed that. I'm like, oh, I like that movie, so
Hmm.
I give.
Yeah.
alrighty. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. I don't have any movies to offer up. Does anybody else?
Well, since nothing is coming out that's worth a shit, right? I'm showing Amberin. We have a big list going on actually,
Okay.
but it's all. Of course. We just showed her Enemy Mine last night. She wasn't impressed.
Yeah,
I think she thought it was just okay.
it was okay.
But let me access her list. I've been just telling her, "Oh, put that on the list. Put that on." I mean, like Falling Down's a great,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'd
haven't
like
seen
to
that
watch
one in a while.
Falling Down again.
Falling
Yeah.
down.
fucking classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Falling Down. Yeah, I haven't
Do
seen the movie in a
Falling-
long time, and it's got some great iconic scenes in that movie. I
Yeah.
don't think people know that it's from Falling Down. So
And I think it is one of fuck, this guy Duvall's best. I think it's Duvall's
Yeah.
best role. Say it,
Mhm.
Duvall's best role.
okay.
Robert Duvall. Definitely.
Better than
As Pendergast.
yeah. He is absolutely fucking amazing in that film. And
Yeah.
he's the glue that holds the movie together, actually.
Hmm.
But even better than his Godfather, Tom Hayden. Even better than Tom Hayden, which is what he's known for, really. That and
Mhm.
also,
I agree with that.
Napalm in the Morning. This is absolutely
Right.
the best film. So
No,
He's
that
amazing.
sounds great.
yeah,
Let's watch
see
a good movie. If it's not
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
like
idea.
shit,
Yeah.
let's just watch a
We
good movie.
like
Yeah.
this podcast. We should.
Yeah,
we
let's
should probably
get back. Let's
Yeah.
get back to the name. See the name down in
Yeah.
the bottom corner. We're getting back to that.
We like it.
So you got to deviate a little bit and shit on some
Sure.
movies, but Yeah.
fodder.
yeah, some fodder. There we go. We need the contrast. I have a running
Exactly.
theory that people need contrast and they don't even realize it. And there's contrast in everything. Cool. So let's go ahead and do Falling Down next week. I'll put it in Discord. By the way, if you're listening to us or watching us, you can follow us down in the Discord, and Instagram is WLT Podcast. We stream every 7:30 Central, 5:30 Pacific time every Tuesday that we do it. That I'm not sick. And we're not doing something else, or Ben's not in Hawaii. So yeah, you can catch us there. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.
All right, we're out.
Like in a fucking